Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic and your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. And I also want to say thanks for the comments. Especially on the last few videos. And oddly enough on some of my older videos. Thank you for reaching back and watching my older content. I think you might find some information there you can possibly find helpful. And I do hope to be watching Nefarious as well coming soon. So I can do a review of it and we can talk more about this subject. Or the true evil that inhabits the narcissist and other toxic people. Which was actually what I was going to mainly focus on today. However, I ended up getting a great question from a long-time subscriber. That has been around pretty much since the beginning of this channel. And I'm glad you are still with us. And I'm glad you found this content helpful in the difficult times you've had with the narcissist you were able to finally get away from. But what's the question that they asked? It's quite simply but complex. How do I stop attracting narcissists into my life? And this question is something I've been thinking about over the last few months actually. And the conclusions I was coming up with. I actually heard another YouTuber saying pretty much what I was feeling. And at this moment I can't remember her name. She has long black hair and wears it in a ponytail sometimes. And she also speaks about the supernatural evil demonic side of narcissism. But what she was basically saying, and I to a degree agree with, is you can't really stop attracting them. Now don't get upset as the buck doesn't stop there. But what she was saying is something I've been feeling. You have all of these people telling you to basically be almost a mute. Meaning you have to turn off your love and caring and your wanting to be of help and service. And to not talk to people. And to stay closed in. And in that changing you stop being all of the things that make you wonderful. Now, I do think we need to use caution. There were times when even Jesus was confronted by those that he knew were completely gone. And he would just look at them and not answer their questions. Likely because Jesus could see the devils in them. And there was no point to responding. We need to learn how to do the same. And this goes back to slowing things down. To if we can, to at times be slower to speak. And to watch a bit to see what is happening before we do. Now does this mean we have to turn off our love or even might say charm? And that might not be the best word for it. But I will say. A great many of you have wonderful personalities. And you have something about you that acts like a magnet. And that thing is that you are genuine. You're not fake. And it's something given to you by God. And it vibrates so loudly others can feel it. This reminds me of the trailer that the Obi-Wan Kenobi show that came out last year. Where Darth Vader and the Empire were out hunting the remaining Jedi. And in the trailer, one of the evil people speaking said, Jedi can't help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail. The Jedi code is like an itch. It cannot help it. You see, there is a time to hide. But how long can you stop being you? In this video with this YouTuber that talked about this subject was basically saying, everyone is saying all of these great qualities about you are the problem and you have to change them. Which then means you aren't you anymore. And even then, narcissists will be able to feel your genuineness and love. As just like the Jedi, our compassion leaves a trail. The key is to slow things down and identify a narcissist when they are around you. Much like Jesus was able to do with certain people he encountered in his life. You see, no matter where we go, There will be genuine people and there will be toxic evil imposters. Pretending to be on our page. Pretending to love us and pretending to care. However, not all. Most narcissists, if they can't get that good juicy full-on supply, they will look elsewhere. What do I mean by that? You have boundaries. Yes. Yes. Narcissists will test them and try to push beyond them. But you holding firm and making choices to exit out of the lives of people that do such things will save you. Big time. And there is no need to explain. You can even just say, you are so busy you don't have time to hang out anymore. Let them fade off to find someone else. Or you become so boring they will find someone else. Here's an example. Let's say you are dating someone new. Things have gotten serious. And this new person that so-called loves you says one of their friends just came into town and they are going to meet them at a bar or nightclub. I'm sorry. That relationship is over. In my opinion, that is a test of your boundary. And if you accept that, they will do worse and worse and worse. Is this person consistent? Do they show on a regular basis they want and desire to be in a relationship with you? Or over time are you always explaining yourself and your boundaries to this person? You see, you might not be able to stop meeting the narcissists out there. But you can sure as heck figure out they are a narcissist a lot faster. Again, yes. We need to know when to remain quiet. We need to know when to act like they aren't even there. Much like they do to us when they give us the silent treatment. But that doesn't mean to stop being loving, genuine and kind. I personally love to talk to strangers. But I know that stranger isn't my best friend. I smile, laugh, and am myself when I'm around others and those I don't even know. But there are other times I'm quiet and I just watch and observe. Here's what I think are good exercises. If you are like me and enjoy talking to others and strangers and such, have one day when you go out and run errands. Take some time to just observe everything around you. Get your coffee. And sit down somewhere at a store or wherever. And just sip your coffee and listen. Listen to the people around you. You might hear something that you might want to respond to or be a part of. Don't. Just listen and listen and listen. Everywhere you go, observe. Then the next time you go out, be yourself in regards to your social interactions if you are a social person. And repeat. After that day, the next time go out and just observe. So you can develop an ability that is organic and genuine to become a good observer. So you will be just as much of a fun, outgoing, compassionate person as you are a quiet observer. And both are completely and organically you. Now, even though you get great at such a thing, will you prevent narcissists from entering your bubble or your life? Sure. Possibly. But possibly not as well. But at least you will have the tools to say, wait a minute, this person appears to be a narcissist. Maybe on month 3 or 6 or 1. Which is way better than 5 or 6 years. And you will be able to in many cases cut them out of your life before they even enter. But if they enter, don't be mad at yourself. Because what I got from this YouTuber's video, it's not your fault. Yes. I know codependency can be and is a problem. But last I checked, codependency isn't just someone that is kind and compassionate and loving. And just by being those things, that's enough for a narcissist to gravitate towards. There is a self-aware YouTuber, I think his name is Leon. And he talks about how much he loves to drain people like us. People with real compassion and love. The things they don't have. The things they are incapable of. Now, can our compassion and love cross the line of codependency? Yes. Yes, it can. And this is where we want to look out for the narcissist do tests and the other tests they run. They may say they just got kicked out of their apartment by their roommate and they have nowhere to go. The question would be, what would they do if they didn't know you? Yes. It's okay to be compassionate and loving. But it doesn't mean you have to take on someone else's problems as your own. And narcissists will do this to see if you will do exactly that. When someone calls you with that kind of problem, be kind and loving. But see where they can be able to solve their own problem. Many of us have so much pride or shame. I don't know which is the best way to say it. But we don't want to bug others for help. And if someone were to help us, we roll up our sleeves and try to be a part of the solution as well. Because quite simply, we know it's not their problem to solve. The narcissist doesn't think that way. They will let you run around and make calls for them and look up things for them. Come up with the money they need. And the list goes on and on. Meanwhile, they aren't doing much of anything. However, if you try to get them to help themselves, they will think maybe they misread you. And that maybe you aren't a codependent and your supply isn't the juicy supply they know and love. And guess what? They will start to seek out someone else. So can you stop attracting narcissists by being a bit more stoic? Sure. But even then, a narcissist could still enter your life. And the main goal is to be able to detect them early. So you can back away and not waste your time or your life. Be yourself. If you love to be friendly, use caution but don't stop being friendly. If you like being helpful, continue on being helpful. However, be careful taking on others' problems and working on them more than they are working on them themselves. Because please know, this is one of the narcissist's biggest tests. They love when they can rope you into certain scenarios like this. Some of the few self-aware narcissists have made videos talking about such things. How they will come up with these scenarios just to see what you will do. Will you be that grade A supply? Or are you a bit more skeptical? Do you ask questions? Do you try to get them to do the work? And if you want to avoid a narcissist getting closer, that is probably the best way to do it. In your mind, slow things down when you are having fun and indeed being compassionate. But remember that games are being played out here. And someone that is genuine like you, they are okay that you have boundaries. Why? Because they likely have them too. These are people like you that don't want to put others and yourself in a bad situation for their sake. Now, one thing I'm big on are tight relationships. Meaning if you meet someone you love and they love you, that you can come to each other with pretty much anything. But even then, if you are in such a relationship, they should care about you enough to not put you in harm's way. Yes. Life instances can happen. Things we have no control over. But use your good discernment. Ask yourself, what is going on here? Regularly reflect on how the relationship is going. Pray about it. And if you are getting the gut feeling something is wrong, you're probably not wrong that there is something wrong. You see, we live in this crazy world that is telling people that if you are yourself, you are weak. And in order to get ahead, you have to be a savage narcissist. Which is something I wanted to talk about as well. Let me tell you, some of the news stories I've seen, and probably you've seen, are just terrible. They are just terrible. And it's because we are living in a compassionless, sick society that has been set up and arranged by the societal narcissists. They want it this way. They want evil to run amok on the streets and in every area of life. And they are hoping by doing so, it will stamp out the love and compassion you have in you. No. No. Don't let that happen. Be careful. Use good judgment. Look for the tests. When you see them, don't debate with a demon. Just back away and leave. But do not get mad at yourself if you happen to meet one again. However, rejoice you've figured it out so quickly and you got away so fast because of your gut instincts. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.